Hey everybody, welcome once again to DVD Tuesday, the show that bounces back and forth between recommending films and entire anime shows. And today we're going to be doing an entire anime show. This one a relatively obscure show from 2000, the year 2000, that's 13 episodes long, called The Legend of Black Heaven, or Kacho Oji as it's known in Japanese, which is more of an odd pun on him being the space grandpa, essentially. Well, older gentleman, the old man of space, if you will. Now, Black Heaven, look at this fucking cover art. Looks incredibly badass, and a lot of the iconography surrounding this show looks incredibly badass. It's not indicative of what the show is like. The opening theme. This show has probably the greatest opening video ever. It's this fucking badass hard rock song by, I think Tony Iommi, the guitarist of fucking Black Sabbath. They took one of his songs. It's just this blistering fucking rock song that's badass, and they set it to a video. I believe I don't remember what animator it is, but I believe he did the entire thing himself. And it's just a bunch of trippy, cool punk rock MTV 80s style madness. It is the most I don't know, Eon Flux. It's just a bunch of trippy animation that looks fucking awesome, and it's some of it looks rotoscoped, some of it's just really expressive, some of it looks like it's from The Wall by Pink Floyd. It's just a bunch of cool fucking shit that is visually intense, set to this awesome song, and you watch this and you're just like, what am I in for? Is this gonna be the greatest art house anime of all time? No, it is not. The actual show is very low budget, very low quality. It looks like dog shit. And the story is really interesting, and it's very different from what's typical of anime, in who the protagonist is and what his struggle is. The show itself, though, is very uneven. So this is a recommendation for... You have to go into this show not expecting this to be amazing, and really, it's only going to work for you if you're interested in the kind of protagonist that it has. Because the main character is a middle-aged man. He's got a wife and a kid. He works a normal salaryman job, but he used to be a rock star. Back when he was young, he had a band, him and these other three guys, and they fucking, they were drug, sex, rock and roll kind of guys. But now they've all grown up. Their band wasn't ever that successful, so he's just kind of working a normal salaryman job. Now, this guy is clearly dissatisfied with this life, and he's looking for a way out. And he sees some really hot girl who seems to be trying to hit on him, so he's like, I'm going to cheat on my wife with this girl. And I believe he does. I believe he does have sex with her. And it turns out that this woman wants him to play guitar and help her with some project that she's working on. What we understand rather quickly is that she is an alien, and they need his music to fight off these other aliens in this big war they're fighting. So basically, they get this guy, and they'll bring him onto their spaceship, and he plays guitar, and it sends out signals that wipe out the enemies. So this dude basically is getting the chance to relive his glory days, and he's trying to do that while keeping a secret from his wife and kid, being generally a shit husband and shit father. But as the show goes along, he's kind of grappling with the fact that he does love his wife and daughter, and he does want to have this life, but he also wants to have this other life. And he's trying to get the old band back together to help him with this, this thing he's doing. And a lot of it's mostly just a character study in this guy's life, and showing you, how it feels to be a washed up old man who grew up as a drug, sex, rock and roll kind of guy, and what he's struggling with in his middle age. And as it goes, it develops a pretty heartwarming plot line going into a really great ending, a really fucking magnificent kind of epic. Well, I won't say epic, but it's a big heartfelt ending that really brings the whole thing together. And there's some fantastic music in this because of the fact that the guy plays guitar, and a lot of the series centers on this amazing song that he writes, and sort of trying to get to the heart of what that song means is part of the core of the series. Now, all that stuff's great. This show's also retarded. It's got these 3 alien girls who are like the comic relief of the show, and they are really obnoxious and pointless and take up a bunch of screen time. It'll be these 3 girls just like doing dumb shit, just getting into mishaps or creating misunderstandings. There's plenty of misunderstandings in the show as plot device. There's plenty of just dumb bullshit. There are some really funny scenes. There's some moments that are... There's one part where they tell the story of how one of the members of the band died, and it is the funniest shit in the universe. You may have seen it if you've ever watched a YouTube video called, like, the most hilarious portrayal of a black man in anime or something like that. It's findable, but yeah, it's really funny. And there's plenty of moments where the show is legitimately hilarious, moments where it's really heartfelt. Again, fantastic ending. I can see some people, even if you watched this and, bought into the like, even if you didn't have a problem with the fact that it's got all these dumb, wacky elements, you might just not like the main character because he is kind of a piece of shit. He cheats on his wife and kid who are doing nothing wrong. And he's very self-centered, and he's just trying to get back to his glory days, and that's the main part of the plot. So I could easily imagine watching this and just not being able to get behind the main character and his struggle. But if you can kind of understand where he's coming from and why he would feel the way he does, and feel some sympathy for him, and maybe have a willingness to follow him through to the end of this story, then it's pretty rewarding in the end. So I think it's worth checking out. I think it's a fun show. I'm looking at this stuff. This is a classic cult hit from anime auteur Kazuto Nakazawa, who did the animation segment from Kill Bill Volume 1 and the Breaking the Habit music video by Linkin Park. Character designer for Samurai Champloo and El Hazard. Did not know it was from the same director as those 2 segments, which are both by Studio 4C. I don't think 4C did this show. I mean, this show looks like garbage. So, like, bragging about who the director is means little. This show is not well put together. It's just interesting. And it's, again, if you really want to see a show about an older protagonist, someone who, is going through struggles that are completely different from what the typical anime protagonist is, then this is very much worth your time in spite of all the hang-ups that it has. So give it a shot, and I'll see you next Tuesday.